Reading Srimad Bhagavatam 4:28-34. Hitva grahan sutan bogan Vaidharbi madirekshana Anvadhavat pangesam Jyotsneva rajinikaram. Hitva, giving up. Grahan, home. Sutan, children. Bhogan, material happiness. Vaidharbi, the daughter of King Vidarbha. Madhira Ikshana, with enchanting eyes. Anvadharvata, followed. Pandya Isam, King Malayadvaja. Jyotsna, Eva, like the moonshine. Rajini Karam, the moon. Translation: just as the moonshine follows the moon at night, immediately after King Malayadvaja departed for Kulachala, his devoted wife, whose eyes were very enchanting, followed him, giving up all homely happiness despite family and children. Just as the moonshine follows the moon at night, immediately after King Malayadvaja departed for Kulachala, his devoted wife, whose eyes were very enchanting, followed him, giving up all homely happiness despite family and children. Purport by His Divine Grace Jaya Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Just as in the Vanaprastha stage the wife follows the husband, similarly when the spiritual master retires for Nirjana Bhajan, some of his advanced devotees follow him and engage in his personal service. In other words, those who are very fond of family life should come forward in the service of the spiritual master, and abundant so-called happiness afforded by society, friendship and love. A verse by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti in his Guru Astaka is significant in this regard. Yasya prasada bhagavat prasada. A disciple should always remember that by serving the spiritual master, he can easily advance in Krishna consciousness. All the scriptures recommend that it is by pleasing the spiritual master and serving him directly that one can attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service. The word Madirekshana is also significant in this verse. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained in Sundarbha that the word Madira means intoxicating. And if one's eyes become intoxicated upon seeing the deity, he may be called Madirekshana. Queen Vaidharbi's eyes were very enchanting, just as one's eyes are Madirekshana when engaged in seeing the temple deity. Unless one is an advanced devotee, he cannot fix his eyes on the deity in the temple. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnanam Gnana Shalakaya Chakshuzan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Satpitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Vidati Swaparamita Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udabada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sakijatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sadhu Shatritam Shavadutam Parajanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Sya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Krishavanu Sita Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much in joining in on our Saturday program on the Srimad Bhagavatam class. I wish you a very happy new year. Start with. So here you can see that a very significant point, that King Puranjan fell down. He became a woman. Yes? He had no spiritual, what we say, strength. Yes? So she got connected to a devotee, Malaya Dwaja. It is said that he was a Mahabhagavata. Yes? Yes or not? So one life he was so addicted to his wife and he fell down. And by some piety, as Prabhupada explained, he got connected to a pure devotee. Yes? And now she is serving that pure devotee. See? So this is a very important point, that one must learn how to serve an advanced devotee. Let's explain what's wrong with this stuff here. This thing you should not put like this. This is not to be coil around so much. I have a habit of moving it up and down because I have to lean forward to take the... So here you can see in this verse, one must accept a bona fide spiritual master and render service unto him with great devotion and faith. Whatever one has in one's possession should be offered to the spiritual master. And the association of saintly persons and devotees, one should worship the Lord, share the glories of the Lord with faith, and glorify the transcendental qualities and activities of the Lord. Always meditate on the Lord's lotus feet and worship the deity of the Lord strictly according to the injunctions of Shastra and Guru. So here in this Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is as wise. Guru Pada Shraya Tasmat Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam Viswarambena Guruhu Seva. Put one cloth here. Bring one cloth. Visrambena Guruhu Seva Sadhu Vatman Anuvartanam Saddharma Pracha Bhogadi Tyaga Krishna Hetave. This is one first duty is to accept a bona fide spiritual master. The student or disciple should be very inquisitive. He should be eager to know the complete truth about eternal religion, Sanatana Dharma. The word Guru Shushushaya means that one should personally serve the spiritual master by giving him bodily comforts, helping him in bathing, dressing, sleeping, eating and so on. This is called Guru Shushusanam. A disciple should serve the spiritual master as a menial servant, and whatever he has in his possession should be dedicated to the spiritual master. Prane arte dhiya vacha. Everyone has his life, his wealth, his intelligence and worth, and all of them should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the via medium of the spiritual master. Everything should be offered to the spiritual master as a matter of duty, but the offering should be made to the spiritual master with heart and soul, not artificially to gain material prestige. This offering is called arpana. Moreover, one should live among devotees, saintly person, to learn the etiquette and proper behavior of devotional service. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks in this connection that whatever is offered to the spiritual master should be offered with love and affection, not for material adoration. Similarly, it is recommended that one associate with devotees, but there must be some discrimination. Actually, a sadhu, a saintly person, must be saintly in his behavior. Sadhava sat acharaha. Unless one adheres to the standard behavior, one position as a sadhu, a saintly person, is not complete. Therefore, a Vaishnava, a sadhu, must completely adhere to the standard of behavior. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that a Vaishnava, a person initiated in the Vaishnava cult, should offer the respect befitting a Vaishnava, which means that he should be offered service and prayers. However, one should not associate with him if he is not a fit person with whom to associate. This is the same as 3:29:17 that we quote often. See? However, one should not associate with him if he is not a fit person with whom to associate. See? So the point here is that we must learn how to recognize an advanced devotee, and we must learn how to serve. Just like here, put inside, never mind, just you put one cloth inside, you won't have sound. Some small cloth there, you just put inside now. So you see, this coming from where? The rain, right?
No, I thought it was rain, but still it's an aircon.
Aircon is leaking. How can aircon pipe go there? Aircon pipe is going here. It is not aircon, the roof is leaking, we have to fix it. Can you call Mahesh and tell him in the dry weather just put the silicone there? Huh? It is not the aircon, it is weather is raining outside, yeah? So, see, we have to learn how to serve. Huh? associate, like here you see, I brought out the point, just put inside, yeah, then no sound will come. So you see, like her, she fell down, correct? Huh? He had no, what we say, spiritual upliftment at all. He was very much attached to his wife, is it not? Correct? Then subsequently he became a woman, even worse. Yes? Right? Huh? Worse in the sense that to get any spiritual thing would be very difficult for the woman's body. But you see how even in that kind of a fallen position, Krishna made arrangement that he associated with a pure devotee. Yes? That moment's association. And association, you can see here, she did not become a big pandit or whatever, correct? She served the husband in a menial way. Yes? Help him in dressing, cooking, doing all that service. So this service is also very important. And by doing that, she also became very successful. See? So serving an advanced devotee or a pure devotee, of course there's two classes. Before I go there, I'd like to also show here another verse about how we should try to do this service. Again here I see that the brahmachari should regularly dress with a belt of straw and deerskin garment. He should wear matted hair, carry a rod and water pot, and be decorated with akshar, beads and sacred thread. Carrying pure kusagrad in his hand, he should never accept a luxurious or sensuous sitting place. He should not unnecessarily polish his teeth, nor should he bleach and iron his clothes. While engaged in serving the spiritual master, one should remain as a humble servant, and thus when the Guru is walking, the servant should walk behind. When the Guru lies down to sleep, the servant should also lie down nearby. And when the Guru has awakened, the servant should sit near him, massaging his lotus feet and rendering other similar services. And when the Guru is sitting down in his asana, the servant should stand nearby with folded hands, awaiting the Guru's order. In this way, one should always worship the spiritual master. Until the student has completed his Vedic education, he should remain engaged in the ashram of the spiritual master and should remain completely free from material sense gratification and not break it over celebration. So you see, I have indicated two examples. One is of a brahmachari and this is of one vanaprastha. One should learn how to do this service. You see, like here, she served the husband. Correct? So now the question is, always I say, no, my spiritual master, no. I must serve only my spiritual master. I don't have to serve anybody else. This has become the trend in the Ritvik camp. Yes? Practically everybody is God brothers, that's one thing. Right? Is it not? Huh? One should know the instructing spiritual master to be the personality of Krishna. Lord Krishna manifests himself as super soul and the greatest devotee of the Lord. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami said that the instructing spiritual master is the bona fide representative of Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna himself teaches us that the instructing spiritual master from within and without, from within he teaches as Paramatma, our constant companion, and without he teaches from the Bhagavad Gita as the instructing spiritual master. There are two kinds of instructing spiritual masters. One is the liberated person fully absorbed in meditation and devotional service. And the other is he who invokes the disciple's spiritual consciousness by means of relevant instructions. Jaya Shri Radha. Thus the instruction in the science of devotion are indifferentiated in terms of objective and subjective ways of understanding. The Acharya, in the true sense of the term, who is authorized to deliver Krishna, enriches the disciple with full spiritual knowledge and thus awakens him to the activities of devotional service. When by learning from the self-realized spiritual master, one actually engages himself in the service of Lord Vishnu, functional devotional service begins. The procedure of this devotional service is known as abhideya, or action one is duty bound to perform. Our only shelter is the Supreme Lord and one who teaches how to approach the personality of Godhead. There is no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual masters. You understand this point? This is the problem in our so-called retreat camp. They think is the only person I should surrender and serve. Others that. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service. See this point? Yeah? There's two kinds of instructing spiritual master. One is of course the liberated one. Another, he gives you instruction based on Shastra. See? And there is no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual master. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service. You understand this? Yeah? Is it clear? Yeah? Srila Sanatana Goswami is the ideal spiritual master who delivers one shelter of the lotus feet of Mother Mohan. Even though one may be unable to travel on the field of Vrindavan due to forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he can get an adequate opportunity to stay in Vrindavan and derive all spiritual benefits. By the mercy of Sanatana Goswami, Sri Govindaji acts exactly like Shiksha Guru, instructing the spiritual master. By teaching Arjuna the Bhagavad Gita is the original preceptor, for he gives us instruction and opportunity to serve him. The initiating spiritual master is the personal manifestation of Srila Madan Mohan Vigraha, whereas the instructing spiritual master is a personal representative of Srila Govinda Deva Vigraha. Both of these deities are worshipped in Vrindavan. At Vrindavan, Srila Govinda Gopinath is the ultimate attraction in spiritual realization. So, we have to understand this very clearly. We cannot try to think that I don't require any other association except my spiritual master. That's it. Unless you are so advanced that you can, associate with Prabhupada through his instruction, yes, that's well and good. You can, but I think that's a little difficult for many of us, is it not? So therefore, association is very important. Yes? I think in the nectar of instruction it is says, no? What is that verse? Number?
5.
One should mentally honor the devotee who chants the holy name of Lord Krishna. One should offer humble obeisance to the devotee who has undergone spiritual initiation, Diksha, and is engaged in worshipping the deity. And one should associate with and faithfully serve that pure devotee is advanced in undivided devotional service and whose heart is completely devoid of the propensity to criticize others. I had one question from some Russia. She read this verse, I think. She said, in the nectar of devotion, nectar of instruction, we should only bow down to a pure devotee and nobody else. So what to do? No more bowing down, only to Prabhupada and that's it. Huh? Can you imagine? See, this is how you get into a lot of, what do you say? A little knowledge is, of course, it is explained that how you become advanced. You see, it's explained here. And of course, I quoted the verse from 11:29. I showed this verse. Disregarding the ridicule of one's companions, one should give up the bodily conception and its accompanying embarrassment. One should offer obeisances before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rot. You see, why we should do that? Of course, I don't know you will do that, but but you see, at least you have to learn a why. Because you have to learn how to recognize the Supreme Lord in the heart of everybody. Until one has fully developed the ability to see me within all living beings, one should continue to worship me with this process, with the activities of speech, mind and body. Of course, paying obeisances to the devotees is very, very important. That is what we have been trained to. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. I offer my respectful obeisance on the devotees, Lord, who are just like wishful anxieties, can fulfill the desires of everyone and full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. So this is how what we say, the real need for doing this is to develop humility. Because without humility, pride will creep in. And the moment pride comes in, then everything is finished. Yes, I quoted that verse. No? False ego is the cause of bondage. Yes, 11:13. What? You know? Do you know? 11:13. What? False ego. What? 11:13:29. See here, ahankara kritam bandham, very clear. I don't need to read anymore. Ahankara kritam bandham. What is bandham? Atmanortha viparyayam, again very clear. Viparyayam means opposite. Atmano artha, the purpose of life will become the other way around. Just 2 lines enough already to understand the whole thing. I have to become big scholar. Vidwan nirvidya samsara. See, Vidwan will become nirvidya and samsara. Samsara, I am sure you know. Chintam, samsara, chintam. You will get into the thinking of Turya stitas tyajat. See how important this verse is, basic, simply explains. The false ego of the living entity places him in bondage, which affords him exactly opposite to what he really desires. Atmano artha viparyaya, opposite. This is result of having no humility. No? What? Humility. Therefore, an intelligent person should give up his constant anxiety to enjoy material life and remain situated in the Lord, who is beyond the functions of the material consciousness. That's why it is the 4th dimension. The 3 dimension is what? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So the 4th dimension is transcendental. Is the point? Correct? I think the next verse is also important. Yavana nartha dihi pumso nani vartate yukta vihi Jagatya api swapnam agya swapne jagaranam yata. According to my instruction, one should fix the mind on me alone. If however one continues to see many different values and goals in life rather than seeing everything within me, then although apparently awake, one is actually dreaming due to incomplete knowledge, just as one may dream that one has awakened from a dream. It happens, right? You're dreaming and you're thinking you're already awake, you're putting on your shoe, tie, everything and going to work, but you're still in bed. Huh? I think happened, right? Yes? Actually there's one more verse there. 29. Yeah, 33. Huh? What? A very important chapter, this 11:13. Yeah. Evam, the long Sanskrit verse.
The Govindamala.
This word jnana asina, this word jnana asina, it's a very important word here. It means, jnana asina means knowledge and sword. This is there also in 7:15:45. Jnana asina, same. You should consider how by the influence by my illusory energy, these three more states of mind caused by the modes of nature have been artificially imagined to exist in me. Having definitely ascertained the truth of the soul, you should utilize the sharpened sword of knowledge acquired by logical reflection from the instruction of sages and Vedic literature to completely cut off the false ego, which is the breeding ground of all doubts. All of you should then worship me who am situated within the heart. So coming to the point that we have to learn how to serve. So the moment we have our spiritual master or someone who is representing, the service has to be not just sitting and hearing only finish. There has to be some physical commitment. Yes, as I have explained, helping the spiritual master to what? Cleaning, so many things I have already explained in 7:31. So therefore, all these activities are to get the blessings of the. So you can see Malaya Dwaja, Mahabhagavata, he realized later on the verses that he is what? Non-different from the Lord. You understand? And I have also explained, Prabhupada of course is Mahabhagavata, no doubt about that. So physically we may, of course, serve him by rendering to hear his instruction. But they are, as I have said, they are instructing spiritual masters. And there are two kinds. One who is liberated and the other one is giving you instruction. But they are all non-different. So our duty is to do service. Because by doing that, we are also going to please Krishna. Just now I explained. If you don't do this, then you're what was that verse? was that? Just now we read. Yeah, see? There is no difference between the shelter-giving Supreme Lord and the initiating and instructing spiritual master. If one foolishly discriminates between them, he commits an offense in the discharge of devotional service. You understand this point? Yeah? So we should be very cautious in making this distinction. If we think that I have advanced sufficiently, I don't require to serve anybody, then it is going to be problem. As he says, even if one is advanced, he must still associate with, what is that? 2283, right? Krishna Bhakti Janma Mulahaya Sadhu Sangha Krishna Prema Janmeteno Puna Mukhya Anga. The root cause of devotional service to Lord Krishna is association with advanced devotees. Even when one dormant love for Krishna awakens, association of devotees is still most essential. Yes? So we have to understand this article of Krishna consciousness. All going for cooking. Hare Krishna. Of course, I am explaining that is also the service to the spiritual master. So you see how relevant everything in Vaishnava culture it is. We should not try to distinguish. No, I only do this, I will not do that, I will do this. This kind of a thinking is going to be harmful. Okay. In the morning we are singing, what? What is that word? We are addressing the deities and Sri Vigrahar Tana Tananitta Nam Nam Singyara Tanman Dhiramajanadu. Whether I decorate the deity or I clean the temple. So all this is service to please the. So sometimes devotees think that I cannot do this, I cannot do that. I will not do this, I will not do that. They make some discrimination, but they cannot hold. Because our duty is to serve the spiritual master as a minion servant. This has become a trend nowadays in especially big temples where somebody just become departmentalized. He only do that and he will not do anything else. Especially being a devotee, you should learn how to do everything for the benefit of the spiritual master. Or in his absence, the instructing spiritual master. Okay? And that way you can see how Vidarbhi, she became perfected. Last life, she was totally gone, became the body of a woman. But this life, just that association with the pure devotee, the whole thing changed. In fact, she went back to Godhead. When he passed away, she lit the fire, she also went into the fire, and she, of course, I don't know, you can do that kind of thing now. I don't think anyone want to jump into the fire, they won't let you also, but But the thing is that because of her devotion to the spiritual master, she also, in this case the husband, she also attained the spiritual world. So our understanding is that we should learn how to take advantage of the situation. Because we have in our midst a very pure devotee, by I don't know what life, what karma we went through, that somehow or other this life we have got this chance. That's a verse. It says, to meet a bona fide spiritual master is an outside chance of a million. You know, to meet a pure devotee, it is not some ordinary thing. So we have that facility, right? Yes? Yes? Correct? And what we did in previous life, how we have ended up with this body, yes, that's something else. But this chance is given just like with Arbi, associated with the pure devotee. Now all we need to do is serve. Serve, that's all. That's why Prabhupada said, if you just hold on to my dhoti, you will go back, got it. Why he said that? Of course, he knows his position and you also can see his position just by him. So many millions are becoming devotees, still are becoming. Yes, that's the position of a Mahabhagavata. Right? So, in his absence, we learn how to serve his instruction. Of course, in the association of devotees, that's very essential. Curbing all our, as it says, mana sunyetaha. You know, mana means, sunya means, zero. So we should learn how to cut out this false ego. And that can only be done with the help of the spiritual master, the breeding ground of all doubts. This false ego is the breeding ground of all. So we take association and we curb this false ego, we become humble. And very quickly we will make spiritual advance. There is no other shortcut to this. There is no other method. False ego cannot be curbed by our own strength. That's not possible. That's not possible. I think it is there also, you know. 11:22:6 is it? I think it's, what is that? 11:18. I think it's 11:18, no? 11:18. There's another verse about this false ego. Or is it 11:28? 11:28:17, correct. Again here the same point, no? Although the false ego has no factual basis, it is perceived in many forms as the function of the mind, speech, life air and bodily facilities. Again, with the sword of transcendental knowledge, jnana asina, again, sharpened by worship of a bona fide spiritual master, again, the sword cannot work itself without worshipping the bona fide spiritual. A sober sage will cut off this false identification and live in this world free from all attachment. Again, the same point that was said earlier, right? The same thing. So we should learn how to understand this thing. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us this Tarnada Pisunichena verse, right? Right? That we chant every morning. To become what? Lower than the grass, tolerant than the tree, showing respect to everybody, not expecting anything in return. Then our chanting can take place. So there is no other method for this. And by Krishna's mercy, as I again highlight, that we have all this facility, correct? We have Prabhupada, we have his knowledge, we have also many devotees. Yes? Huh? All we need to is, as they say in your language, your computer language, plug and play. Computer language is plug and play, right? Now we can just change it to plug and surf. Not plug and play, plug and surf. Right? And you'll see there will be natural progress. Undoubtedly, because it's a fact. Because to get first knowledge is very essential. Without this knowledge, then we will don't know what. Sometimes we are doubting whether I am doing right, I am not doing right. But when we get confirmation from scriptural direction, then there is no more doubts. There is no more doubt. If you hear from the authority, then sadhu, shastra, and shastra is the base, Prabhupada said. Shastra is the base. The sadhu can speak, but if he doesn't speak the shastra, then what kind of sadhu is that? Sadhu means he will clear doubts. Sadhu cannot give you more doubts. Then something wrong with him, you know. Yeah? If the sadhu is giving you doubts, or if the guru is giving you doubt, then something is amiss. We cannot take that kind of a sadhu and guru. That's something strange. Right? Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananam Gyana. What is the translation? He gives you more doubts. He enlightens you with doubts. Is that the opening? What's the line? I offer my respectful obeisance to my who has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of knowledge, right? Is it not? But here he is giving you torchlight, no torchlight, darkness, then what's strange? Right? So you cannot have somebody who instills doubt. That means something wrong. You have to go to someone who actually what? Helps you clear all these doubts. As Krishna says, for the doubting soul, there is neither peace nor perfection in this world nor next. For the doubting soul, no peace, no perfection. Right? Just like Arjuna also said, I am coming to you to clear all this. I don't see anybody other than you who can help me in clearing these doubts. So in other words, Arjuna went to him, of course Krishna directly. But if you go to a representative of Krishna, then that's it. You understand? But he must be a bona fide representative. Not that he gives so many doubts, introduce so many asastric activities. Vidhi, avidhi. Vidhi means what? Rules and regulation based on Shastra Vidhi. But if we introduce Asastra Vidhi, then doubts only come in. Correct? So we must know what to do, what not to do, based on what? Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te, Shastra Pramanam. It is not what? Manha Pramanam. Mana means what? Mind. Pramana means what? Truth. Karya akarya vyavastitav gyantva shastra vidha vidanoktam karma kartam yaharasi. So this is explained. One should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures, not based on mental speculation. Not based on mental speculation. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. So if you do not follow this system, you cannot be gradually elevated. You will be gradually degraded. Yeah, understand? When you first came to Krishna consciousness, you were very enthusiastic. So if you carry on with this program, your enthusiasm should increase. But if you've come very enthusiastically and after some time your enthusiasm has gone down, then something is not right. Yes? Yes or no? Yeah? Yes or no? So we should be checking ourselves whether I am actually making progress or I am not making progress. That's why I should go and associate with those devotees. Of course Prabhupada is there, and if you cannot get to understand Prabhupada directly, Prabhupada has made institutions like this, temple, bona fide, and where they are bona fide devotees who are steadily practicing the teachings of Prabhupada. And you have to take their association. And you will see tremendous advancement is guaranteed without any, I would say, doubts. But if you don't want to take that, then of course you can always create your own institution, nobody is objecting. Provided you are also following this system. Prabhupada said that. If you feel that you cannot, associate with devotees, then you can live directly with the spiritual master, provided you are strictly following the rules and regulations and everything. That is another thing. You understand? That's why in 7:15:45, you cannot get strength if you don't follow the spiritual master strictly. You understand? So to get that strength, it is easily done in the association of the Guru. Because we help each other. That's why we quote that verse 11:3:30 all the time. When we are associating, we serving each other. In this way, all the desire for material enjoyment will disappear. So here Vidarbhi, fortunate, Prasada Lesa, she has got, what is that verse? 10:14. And 14:29. Here. Tatapi te deva padambujadvaya prasada lesa anugrihita eva he janati tattvam bhagavan mahimno nachanya ekopi chiran vichinvan. My Lord, if one is favored by even a slight, lesa means what? Slight, lesa. Trace of the mercy of your lotus feet, he can understand the greatness of your personality. But those who speculate to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead are unable to know you, even though they continue to study the Vedas for many years. Chiran Vichinvan. Millions of years you can carry on studying. Yesterday one guy came with the Vedas. He was reading the Vedas. You know, how to read the Vedas without some mercy of a pure devotee? That is not possible. This is all wasting time. That's why I say you can carry on reading like that for millions of years and nothing will happen. You know, this is the whole thing is very scientifically arranged. Yeah. So again, I am reiterating that by some good fortune we have come across a very pure devotee, Mahabharata. And again, by his blessing, we have also managed to have very nice associations. If we are not going to take advantage, then it's going to be a huge loss. Yes, now I've seen some of you, you left, you went to stay in India and you didn't have the association for some reason, correct? And you were in your heart thinking when you can come back again here, is it not? Huh? Yes? Why? Because you know, you felt that here you got so much enthusiasm. Yes? So much progress, yes. Huh? Is it not? Huh? So you see how important this whole point is. So we should now take full advantage. Just like Vidarbi, serve unquestionably and go home back to God. Finish. She went back. She was not a big pandit or whatever, nothing. Because of her association with the pure devotee. That is the underlying point. That's it. Finish the business. So that's why Prabhupada said, you know, so many lives you have enjoyed. If this one life you suffer, any problem? No suffering actually, but suffering, enjoy. In this one life you serve, any problem? Huh? So many lives you were doing so many things, correct? Yes? The question only what you did not do, that's another thing. Yes? So better we just put full, as we say in the shipping line, full steam ahead. That means what? Full throttle. Without any, we say, doubts. Take up seriously and finish our business. Don't have to waste anything. Huh? You don't want to dilly-dally, they say in English. Huh? Dilly-dally. No. Fix up, get to serve and finish this business. It's guaranteed. You going back to Godhead is guaranteed. There is a question whether you want to be part of it until the last breath or you want to what? Dilly-dally. That's it. So anyone who is intelligent, he will follow this footstep. Finish. Hare Krishna. Of course, we are not thinking we are going back, but the process is already there. Assured. The process is assured. All right, so any questions or comments on this point?
You told about enthusiasm, right? So there are other gurus, people are following them also. They are also getting some enthusiasm, right? How do they get enthusiasm?
What kind of guru?
Like we have like some guru and this art of living. There are a lot of followers for them also. So they are also, I don't know, they might be getting some enthusiasm. Otherwise, why they should continue with it?
You must understand that whatever enthusiasm, even a materialist is also getting enthusiasm. Don't speak about the guru. Correct? You working in your office, all are very enthusiastic, right? Why? Because of sense gratification. So enthusiasm must be channeled to develop love for Krishna. Everything is enthusiasm. The dog also enthusiastic running up to the beach. What is the big thing about that? Yes? So enthusiasm to get some sense gratification is not real enthusiasm. And enthusiasm following all these so-called gurus, yes, but the objective and goal must be seen. The enthusiasm should bring you to the lotus feet of Krishna. That is proper enthusiasm. But if he is deviating from that, that's why he says 3 things are important in bhakti. NOI, what number? Utsaham nishchayat daryat tat tat karma pravartanat. Yes? What is that? NOI? 3 is it? 3, yeah? See here, enthusiasm is described here. There are 6 principles favorable to the execution of pure devotional service. Being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to regulated principles such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing and chanting and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotees and following in the footsteps of previous Acharya. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. So enthusiasm must be channeled to develop pure devotional service. If Mr. XYZ is also training his disciples to become enthusiastic, but if his objective is not Krishna, then is it disservice? Are you following? Yeah? Right? Even the husband and wife, they are enthusiastic. So enthusiastic to get their family successful, correct? Yesterday's class, right? Huh? But what is the end result? Material activities, the end result is what? Huh? This is the end result. Anviksheta Vishuddhatma Dehena Vishayatmanam Guneshu Tattva Dhyanena Sarva Ramba Viparyayam. A purified soul should see that because the conditioned souls are dedicated to sense gratification and falsely accepted the object of sense pleasure as truth, all their endeavors are doomed to failure.
So whatever those disciples are also are enthusiastic is also some kind of sense gratification, right?
One moment, I give you one verse. What is that verse? That the blind leading the blind? Huh? Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted their leader or guru as similarly blind men, attached to external sense object, cannot understand the goal of life is to return home back to Godhead and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As a blind man as a blind man guided by another blind man miss the right path and fall into a ditch, materially attached man led by another materially attached man is bound by the ropes of fruitive labor which are made of very strong cords, and they continue again and again in materialistic life, suffering the threefold miseries. I think this verse sums it up. Yes? Huh? a very important verse actually. Spoken by Nate Viduha. See this verse? Nate Viduha Swartha Gatim Hai Vishnu. They don't know the Swartha, the goal of our Swartha is Vishnu. Durashaya. They have what? Hope against hope. Durashaya. Bahirartha Manina, externally chasing after all this nonsense. And they follow under Yatanda. Under means blind. Yatanda means this blind leading the Upaniyamanas. Tepi Shitantra Urudami. Tantram, you know this word? Your India Swatantra, right? You know? Your independence, is it? Huh? Swatantra service. Yeah, this word is here, Tantram. See? Independence, yeah? See? Yes. So, there is no such thing as, oh, they are also good, they are doing something good. Huh? What? There is no good. If you don't come to Krishna consciousness, nothing is. Now I quoted one verse, no? 17:24, right? I quoted this verse, remember? Yeah. Prabhupada, hello. 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 Our Krishna conscious movement stress the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra only. Huh? Not this mantra, that mantra, please. We stress only chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra only. Whereas those who do not know the secret of success for this age of Kali unnecessarily indulge in the cultivation of knowledge. Again, speculators. Huh? The practice of mystic yoga or the performance of fruitive activities are all useless austerities. They are simply wasting their time and misleading their followers. So that when we point this out very plainly to an audience, members of opposing group become angry at us. Huh? See? But according to the injunctions of the Shastras, we cannot make compromise with these so-called Jnanis, Yogis, Karmis and Tapasvis. When they say that they are as good as we are, we must say that only we are good and they are not good. Is it clear? See? Huh? This is not our obstinacy again. It is an injunction of the Shastras. We must not deviate from this injunction of the Shastras. This is confirmed in the next verse of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Kevala. Next verse is actually Kevala. And nothing else, Prabhu. You cannot try to accommodate. If you do that, then you are becoming offensive. If you think, no, Prabhupada is too heavy, you know. Huh? Prabhupada is too heavy. ISKM also, they all, you know, they very, blind fellows. They should learn how to accommodate. Even the mic failing. They learn how to accommodate. They have to what? Live and let live. There's another line there, live and let live. No such thing. Sarva dharma parityaja mam eka sharanam vraja. Not that he says you can surrender or not surrender, no problem. Did he say that? Huh? What is ekaha guru nandana? What is that? Single pointedly. Understand? There's a verse also. What is that? I've quoted that also. In one pointed attention, one should tasmat ekena manasa. Again, all this eka, one. So we cannot try to think we need more than the Guru, and finish. That's the problem. That is the problem. He was asking one question yesterday, what is the question? What was his question again? Shiksha and Diksha. His question was, Shiksha and Prabhupada is the Shiksha. So he said that Shiksha Guru, yes, is not, you are not, this thing has to be corrected. He said the Shiksha is telling something, but Diksha is, important. I've highlighted this point today. You understand this point? You cannot minimize. When you minimize, and then you will compromise. And when you compromise, you think that you are the Acharya. You know what to do, what not to do. This is nonsense. We cannot do that. You follow? At any point we start thinking that we know better than the Guru. Then everything is finished. That's what's happening nowadays. The problem is that they have minimized the position of Prabhupada. That's all. Finished. So, preaching gets compromised. They're standing with Maya buddies and pictures and going to each other camps and all kind of interfaith and all kind of stuff they've crept in. How does it work, this interfaith? Your philosophy is totally different, philosophy is totally different, and you're going to what? Shake hand in a cup of coffee and tea. How is this? You understand? That's why Krishna says, give up everything and surrender. That is Krishna's what? Compromisation. Surrender and finish. No, what? Cannot work. This karma, gyan, and what is that? This yoga, this all cannot work. It cannot work. That's why our line, what is that? Anya bilasita sunyam. Make everything zero. All your desires zero. No anya bilasita sunyam, jnana, karma, anavritam. Without any karma and jnana and yoga. Anukulena. This word again. Anukula means what? Without deviation. What is that verse? 19? 19:1? 167. Anukulena, Krishnanu Silanam Bhaktiruttamam. Favorably, Krishna Anusilanam, cultivation of service in relation to Krishna. Bhaktiruttamam. When first class devotional service developed, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. This is the line. No other thing, we cannot try to put in some compromisation. It's not going to work. Anyway, spiritually you will not grow. The moment you deviate even an inch from the spiritual master, then everything is finished. Everything is finished. It will not work. Right?
I don't have any physical association of devotees, I only have virtual association. Is virtual association equivalent to physical association?
Yes, Vani is important. How it is transported, that's another thing. Brahma, he did not see the Lord, he heard. Right? So, the means, as Prabhupada said, is not very important. The main thing is the message.
The association of devotees.
Yes, he is getting instruction.
But he is not able to like this from Mangala. Physical is important also, right?
Well, he has to do that. Because the instruction is there to attend Mangala Arati. What's the use of hearing an instruction and not following it?
Because individually the strength is not there, Maya is easily taken.
No, he should try to fix himself, at least the basic he should do. I mean, even we are traveling also, in the plane, we are doing Mangala Arati. So why is it so difficult to wake up and just do? Huh? Cannot wake up, some reason? You have to learn how to do the basics. I have already discussed that in so many classes, the importance and relevance of Mangala Arati. Yes, at that much you have to do. Go to bed early, wake up, since there is no other association, you are alone, just wake up and chant. You don't have to say prayers and all, that's another thing, but at least chant Hare Krishna. And you get strength. If you just wake up in the morning and follow this way, you will get strength, undoubtedly. Yes? Yeah? It's a simple thing. It's not that I don't have association, I sleep. What? You without association, you sleeping? You need associate? Of course, you have your wife. That's another thing. Yes? So you have to learn how to become determined. That's important. Anybody can wake up in the morning and anybody can chant. What's the problem? Yeah? Only a lazy person cannot do this. Yes? So you ask him to carry out and try to do this. Yeah? As much as you can do. You don't have to be 4:30 in the morning, but at least 1 hour, 1.5 hours before sunrise, you wake up and chant. And then you see everything will develop. I mean, look, I also practice Krishna consciousness in Ireland here, where Prabhupada is not allowed to come inside. There is no, practically there is no association. All these years. Huh? What? It's a determination. That's all you have to become. Anything else? Finish? Alright. Any other questions? Comments? Alright. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki.